Baby squirrel, use a sexy motherfucker.
Give me your attention, baby. I gotta tell you a little something about yourself. You're wonderful, flawless, ooh, you a sexy lady. But you walk around here like you wanna be someone else. Ooh, whoa. I know that you don't know it, but you're fine, so fine. Fine, so fine. Ooh, whoa. Oh, girl, I'm gonna show you when you're mine, oh, mine. Mine, oh, mine. Treasure, that is what you are. Honey, you're my golden star. You know you can make my wish come true. If you let me treasure you. If you let me treasure you. Oh, oh.
It's harder for you to hang out because a lot of your other friends, they're either still in school or they're working now, so they have their own lives to deal with. So yeah, that's pretty much it. You just have to kind of let it happen, and just gotta go forward after the post-college sort of thing.
So deep.
Not me? Let's see. After college, it was kind of hard for me because I didn't look for jobs at all during while I was in college. I didn't have any internship. I didn't have anything on my resume.
Me too.
So I wasn't prepared at all. And at that time too, I was about to lose my condo because my dad got a pay cut and he couldn't help me pay for it anymore. Yeah, so it was a mess. So I just kept applying for work anywhere. I think it took me like 9 months to even find a job, and I actually found that job because of another Fusion member, Josh.
Josh.
Hello.
Yeah, I don't know.
Alright, let's see, after college, kind of same situation, I tried to find a job. Having a major that didn't mean anything, it was really hard to find a job. So I did what anyone would do in the country. I went to the Philippines for 2 months, did a study abroad program. And after that, I came back, looked for a job, and somehow I got a job at Raytheon. I don't know how. And well, actually, I do know. It's a contactor combo, actually. So yeah, definitely. I think we all got our hookups straight out of college. The transition, it was pretty rough because you had to get used to not being part of UCI anymore. And sometimes, like, that trip to the Philippines really got me out of UCI, like the whole bubble here you guys know about. And I moved to LA right after that. You know, part of it's just letting go of UCI, letting go of Irvine. Sometimes, because sometimes there are better opportunities than there are here. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, same issue. We didn't really see a lot of my friends for a bit until they all moved to LA, which naturally, it seems like naturally progression. Like either you move north or south of Irvine, and it's hardly you hardly find people here after a few years. Yeah.
Woo.
Interesting.
After college, I mean, because for me, I went to grad school right away, so because 09 was when the market kind of crashed over some jobs, so I need to go do my master's. At least that's what all my professors told me to do. But real life, like once you start working, the only good thing is that you don't have homework anymore.
That's true.
No more all-nighters, so that's some big change, I guess. So yeah, that's pretty much. Because I mean, I stayed around the OC area, so I still hang out here. Yeah.
Yeah, as for me, I actually utilized the UCI Career Center. So I walked on June, already got a job March 2008. So what I did was, just pretty much spam my resume throughout some job postings in the UCI Career Center until one company interviewed me for a position. Then from there, I got a job offer. So, that's kind of a relief, right? Like right away when you get out of school, you already have a job waiting for you. So I took summer school right after I walked in June of 2008. So I took 2 additional classes, to kind of, complete my breadth requirement. then after that, I decided to blow away all the money I've saved since I was 14 years old. Pretty much spent like a whole month in Europe, and then gave myself like a week to recuperate from that trip, and then went to straight directly to work. So I would say utilize all the resources you have here right now, especially the UCLA Career Center, because you just never know. Oh, hell yeah. It's nice to blow it away then, get back in like 6 months.
Damn.
If you're talking about the transition directly from like graduating and then the succeeding months, probably for me it was really, really bad. They got really good, they got really bad again. Because right when I graduated, I was doing research with one of my professors, and it actually pays off to be nice to him. Because I would ask him questions about homework that I really just get stuff up. So I was doing research for him for a while, and I had something promised to me to work with them into the fall. So I pretty much re-signed my lease on my apartment, and then come September they told me due to budget cuts they couldn't give it to me anymore. So I was in a 1-year lease and no job. So I immediately became very depressed. But I had time to play video games. So about a week straight, I literally did nothing but just stay home and play video games and watch anime. And then I started working just because I needed just money. I started working at Subway, and that got really cool because I was eating for free every day.
Yeah.
Video games every day. And then after a week of that, I got depressed again. So I started working at Subway. So it took me about a couple months, to actually get a job. The first real job I had wasn't even engineering, but pretty much like what everyone's trying to everyone's expressing. It takes some time, so it's going to be rough for everybody. But you might as well just enjoy every day that you have. Play video games.
Watch anime.
Alright, so my quick question for you guys is, who is non-engineering majors? Okay, so all my networking is all with engineering majors. I am actually an Earth and Environmental Science major, which is no longer available here at UCI, with a minor in global sustainability. So when I graduated, I actually got dicked by the Irvine system and had to stay for one more quarter. So I, in theory, graduated in 10, but I walked in 11, even though I took classes in the fall. This 10 years worth. Well, anyways, so I stayed for 4 years on one quarter. So with that in mind, right when I walked, it was tough for me. It was wholeheartedly the toughest thing I've ever had to go through. But I knew what I wanted. I knew that I wanted to go into environmental consulting. I knew all the steps I needed to go, which is my biggest advice for you guys, to know what it takes to reach your goal, and whether it be taking a serious price cut or pay wage just to get the experience, because that's what I did the whole time. So before I got my job at Generation Water, I actually tried applying to a bunch of places, was very unsuccessful. But then I took a break, went to the Philippines for a month, came back, rejuvenated, and then I was able to land a job at Generation Water, a nonprofit. That was pretty dope at the time. Then from there, I knew I just needed experience. So I stuck around for between 6 to 8 months and bounced, which is where I'm at right now. I'm an environmental consultant at Frog Environmental. So I feel like what I will leave you is this. As long as you know where you need to go and you're truly set upon what you need to do to get there, you will get there. Because you're involved with a really good club, Fusion, and every time they look at my resume, oh, you're doing this and that. I was like, yeah, I was. So as long as you have that type of mindset, you'll be fine. Just there will be dark times, I will say that. It is tough out there. As long as you know what you want, you will get it. So that's it.
Woo!
Alright, I like this guy. I didn't know I was going to be when I graduate. So graduate, or before that, spring quarter, a bunch of career fairs, sweet. I'm going there, I'll get an interview or two, which I did. I got an interview here and there, Slumber J, things like that. You know what, it's going to be easy, easy sailing, I'll get a job. whatever. That didn't quite work out that way. You know, like everyone else's story here. It's like, okay, you know, get interviews. Oh, I'm sorry, but we found a better, you know, find a better candidate for it. Okay, cool. So graduate. I'm like, you know what? I tried looking for something. You know, I'll take it easy a little bit. I'll look for jobs here and there, but not, you know, I won't dive into it. You know, I earned it. You know, I worked so hard, whatever. So August comes along. It's like, you know what? It's almost September, so let's go find something. You know, look, career builder, monster, whatever. Like everyone said, it's tough. You know, especially right now. You know, not to discourage everyone. It was tough to find something. That's why I mentioned earlier. You know, it took me like 8 months, 9 months to find something. And the only reason, you know, I found something was because I kept in my contacts, especially Ralph. You know, it's like, hey, you know, what you
I
doing?
was his mentor.
Yeah. It's like, you know, I'm still looking. Okay, here, why don't we meet up? You know, why don't you bring your resume? All right, bring your resume. Look it over. You know, is that what you got? All right, let's go. Okay, let's fix it, work with it, right? It's like, okay, talk to you in another month, see how you do. Still, how you doing? I got nothing, you know, I'm still struggling here. All right, I'll see what I can do. You know, I was looking like out of this state. You know, worst comes to worst, I was like, you know what? I was exercising a lot, joined the military, I'm good.
Then you'll be set.
Right, I'll be set. And Ralph again pretty much threw me, you know, lifesaver, saying, you know what? Okay, I'll talk to my boss, I'll see what I can do. Again, these are fusion contacts that we're helping. You know, Ralph helped me with that. Got the interview, started working. That's when he became my boss. You know, it was getting better at the time, but still, it's like, at that point, internship, okay, good, experience, like Royce said. Experience, awesome. But now it's like, okay, is this really where I want to be? You know, you still doubt yourself. So sweet, you got a paycheck, okay. And after that, again, it's just like Ralph said, hey, you know, this is after he left me by myself, because he moved on.
And actually, just FYI, me, Aurelio, and Philbert worked at the same company.
Yeah.
True story.
Yeah, as you can see, that company didn't succeed very much. So.
What?
You guys bachelors.
Anyways, again, Ralph told me, hey, you know, he was looking for a job. I found this thing. I think you're qualified. Applied for it. Got a call. You know, by the being by the room, it all works. You know, flowed out. So for me, pretty much just the networking. You know, just having a mentor, even within Fusion, it really helps you. Especially like everyone said, dark times. It's tough. You know, we're not going to sugarcoat it. You know, it's not going to be, hey, oh, you graduated from UCLA? Here, take this job. It's not going to happen that way. You know, you got to work for it, and you realize that pretty much people that you meet now, you know, who knows? One day they could be your lifeline. I pick up another degree.
Two already.
I mean, you know, they're always saying, well, Bam was my, you know, director, head guy. He was telling me, oh yeah, you know, a lot of people, before it was just high school degree. After that, it was just a college degree. Now, it's even tougher even if you have a college degree, so you should get 2. So the way I looked at it, if it's already tough getting, you know, if you have 2 degrees, it's still tough. I have a 3rd one. I don't think Or, you know, take my time, get better grades. That works too.
I suck up to my professor. It actually is really effective, and they actually do give you, even if it's really irrelevant advice, it's an old guy giving you advice. So, I mean, you pretty much just take what you get out of it. Most of them are cool, even besides their scary faces during the lecture. Just go to the office hours, and you don't have to play dumb, but maybe even just go in and ask questions. Like, oh, what do you think about some topic in the industry nowadays?
They are typically nice.
Typically, but there are some exceptions. I don't know. Actually, I won't say names. But yeah, you have to gauge it for yourself if a professor is worth talking to. It seems kind of like, I don't know if you guys are like the 2 cool kids that like go out and go to office hours. I was one of those. That's why I never really went to talk to my professors. So yeah, I would make more friends with my TAs.
As for me, what I probably got wasted more, you know, just do things that I will regret later on, because you'll never have that opportunity anymore after you're out of college. That's it.
He's gonna spend a year at Alumni too.
Whoa!
Cross that out. What?
I wouldn't have taken another year. I mean, especially if you're going to get another degree or get a better degree, whatever. I think your degree, this is my experience, degrees are useless after college. No, I know about engineers, but I got an engineering job after college, and I was an engineer. I didn't get like a fancy engineering degree. A lot of my friends, same thing. Like they got into fields that they wanted to get into, or fields they didn't expect to get into. So I mean, I would take the extra year and do something more relevant. Like actually, 2 years ago, I took programming classes at Santa Monica College, just for fun. I'm using more of that. These 3 courses I learned at Santa Monica College more than courses I learned at UCLA. And I paid $60 for those versus already $1,000. Actually, that became the core of my business now. You guys don't know I own my own business. Doing online consulting, digital strategy, stuff like that.
What business is that?
Bucket way.
Which one?
What business is
Oh,
that?
it's called Kasama Media, and I'm taking up too much time. Basically, it's a it started 5 years ago, and it's still going on after. So, yeah, I think I'm taking too much time.
For me, I would have taken more project courses, so I can put something in my resume.
Yeah.
Especially for ICS classes, there's a lot of project courses. Like they have a game design course, database. I should have taken one of those. So if I had to take one more year, I would have taken it more for research because, well, for me, I'm going to pharmacy school and they really like research experience and stuff like that. So if I were to take one more year, I'd definitely go for research. And I would also, like, since Irvine is pretty much bound up with budget cuts and stuff, if they offered certain classes, because I'm going to pharmacy school, if they took, or if Irvine offered more of the prereqs I needed, I would definitely stay over here. Yeah.
Some of you guys are in projects. Not everyone in your project you probably like. It's probably the same thing in the real world. You'll get some people who will contribute awesomely. You know, you're like, sweet, I got that guy. You know, he's the smartest guy here, so cool. But then you also get the guy, he doesn't do anything. You'll get the same thing at work. You know, you'll get someone who will participate, you know, help you guys. But then you also get the people like, I don't want to do that. Give it to that guy. So it's just one of those things where if you practice your skills now, I mean, I'm probably not going to answer your question specific, you know, fully. It's just one of those things where the practice you get now is pretty much going to apply to what you're going to carry on to.
Mateo, can you repeat your question?
No, seriously. Word by word?
Yeah, or as close
Specific.
as specific
Yeah.
as you can.
Well, how do you have any tips on being a team player and like not cooperating with your higher ups?
To be honest, it depends on what your goal is. Because there are 2 ways, the way I see it, you can go. Number 1, I always feel like you can, like, everyone says networking is important, but I always feel like networking is only important in where you do it and how fast you can escalate it when you're networking. And so in the sense that you're talking about, to be a team player, honestly, you have to smile and just like shake your head every now and then, you know, laugh at their jokes, whatever. You have to be likable, which is a really attainable trait, especially since you guys are here involved in fusion, you know. Like you guys learn how to improv, you guys learn how to like, I don't know, be open about yourself, you know, like to break out of your shell. And like those skill sets like do apply in the real world. Like you have to be pretty much willing to put yourself out there. And that pretty much is part of being a team player, being willing to lead and also be willing to know when to follow. So I hope that answers your question.
Really quick, if it's someone like higher level than you that determines if you're still going to have a job or not, I generally say just nod and that's what they say. Or be some, yeah, essentially. But if it's someone on your level, I guess like if you know they're wrong, just kind of break it to them in a nice way. don't be like that guy that says, no, I'm not gonna follow your lead. I know, like, if you guys are taking project classes right now, I had a project class where I just hated our leader. I guess he was like the self-proclaimed leader or whatever. So, essentially, like, you actually will, how well you play with everybody does have a pretty big effect on if you're gonna keep your job or not. If you're, like, super smart and you do all your work on time, but you're just awkward at the office and you don't talk to anyone, you'll probably get fired. Because, my first job, I did everything. But yeah, I was really nervous because it was all old people in my job, and they told me, the first job I got fired from, they told me, yeah, some of your coworkers are uncomfortable. Pretty much, like, that's essentially what they were telling me. So, try to just be nice to everyone. I mean, everyone here looks normal enough that I think we can carry it. Except for they call water cooler conversations. That's a pretty important skill.
Next. Well, just keep in mind when you're at the workplace, you're there to work, not to make friends. So, you know, and one of the things is that, was it Royce or Rivera?
I don't know what it was.
Yeah, one of you guys mentioned, you know, like, always take initiative when you do your work. I mean, you know, once you get out of the workplace, you know, you go home, you don't think about work. That's how it's supposed to be. Well, for some of us, it's not that way. Yeah. I mean, come on, man. Like, I spent like a whole week each month for this entire year outside of the country. So, well, anyways, that's I don't want to go off board, but that's a key key idea there. It's like the company pays you to do work, not to make any friends. So, I mean, eventually you will make friends. You know, you will socialize with somebody. You go to happy hours and you go to strip clubs at 8 p.m. You will be those guys. Yeah, well, that's a key point there. You know, you're there to work, not to make friends. And whatever you do, just have confidence in whatever, in your work. And when the time comes, be proactive and take initiative.
Sorry, disregard my advice. Just be me.
For me, it depends, right? Because I mean, if you're in a group, like in my case, I work at Boeing, which is like pretty much all in their 60s. Like all my people in my group, or my leads are all like 50s, 60s, because they forgot to hire young ones. So I mean, but they're nice. I mean, there's some barriers, of course, like, you're a kid. They look at you as a kid, pretty much. But just be nice to them, ask them questions. They usually like it. They usually engage in conversations. Don't be mean to them, because they're going to make your life hell, for sure. And then even when you're working with older people, and like show them respect, because they really like that, and it could go a long way. And then they're probably not gonna be your hangout buddies like after work or happy hour, but I mean, you're gonna have like people the same age as you somewhere in the company, and then you just eat lunch together. Like in my case, like all the new hires like same age as me, we all know how much everybody makes. So that when somebody like gets a raise, before getting it's just like you become comfy enough to talk about those kind of stuff. It's not like you're showing off with each other or whatever. It's more of like you just want to know where you're at kind of thing. So it just depends on the work environment. So
Coming from the opposite end, being someone who's fired people and laid off people before, it comes down to accountability. Like, if you say you're going to do something, do it. And that's not only for your boss, that's for your team as well. You don't be known as the guy or girl who doesn't follow through. So, do what you say you're going to do. If you can't do it, bring it early to your manager. Bring it early to your team. Like, mistakes are okay. Like, you're going to make mistakes. You're going to not do things on time. But the faster the more frequent you tell that, the mistakes, if something's going to happen, the more appreciated that is. So, it's really just about accountability. Secondly, if you guys don't take, like, I'm not sure if you guys take project management classes here. I'm not sure that's a part of the thing, like curriculum, but engineers I know didn't take it in college. If you don't know how to work with a project manager, that's a big issue, I think, especially engineering. Like, if you don't know what Gantt chart is, you don't know what predecessors, successors are, if a critical path is, like, you don't know any of these things, go to San Marcos College, pay $20. Go online, learn it really quick, so you can actually work with the team better. And I think that's something UCI doesn't teach. So, accountability and project management.
Right, so for me personally, I haven't been employed before. So for those of you who haven't been employed, the next closest thing you'd want to go for is research, because first of all, you'd be working underneath a professor and possibly a grad student, and you're basically working like pretty much a job, except you're not paid, but you're working for a grade pretty much. And it's, for me, when I did research, it's kind of stressful because I had to be on the clock for my type of research. I worked with fruit flies. And so I had to work with my grad student and my other leader team members. And I'm pretty much working for an A. But
Carlvin, you don't have to speak, bro.
so my senior year, I had a really bad case of senioritis. Like, I really didn't want to do anything because, I'm going to graduate with college. But when me and Maverick, when we had to go in was it Fusion Fridays?
Yeah.
We go to the pub every Friday after hour and we just kick it. At the end of the week, we go like, what the hell? Just get drunk. And that's what's getting me motivated because, it's the end of the week. Thursday to do all your homework and all your midterms and quizzes, and then Friday it's just what the hell, and then whatever weekend. So that's what got me going. Nice to hear.
For me, my motivation was actually pretty simple. I had a bunch of ICS friends and I'm very competitive. So when we work together, I always want to be one of the top. In my ICS courses, I did pretty well, but in my other courses, I did crap because I didn't do much. Except for one of my class, it was network security. I actually was able to break into my network security professor's server. I found all the best file The class was so early, I got lazy and didn't really go to class. I did well in the midterm, but the finals was completely different. I think he thought. Because I gave it to another guy, I don't know if he gave it to other people. But that guy I gave it to, he got like a top score. It's alright,
pretty simple. I was tired of being broke. I don't know about you guys, but like you see all these things we're wearing right now, I can't even afford this shit. So, yeah. I mean, like I was just, like my loans were just piling up, and I'm still paying those loans. And I just had to, I had to figure it out. I just got to get a degree and, find a job right after college. So that way, I can start paying off the loans, be able to enjoy a very comfortable life, where I can buy things, afford my phone bills and afford an iPhone and all that good stuff. And at the same time, that's where, towards the end of my my time here in UCI, found myself that, I think I might be a good engineer. And during that first year in my job, working as a materials engineer at the first company that I was employed in, I kind of realized, I think this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So, yeah, it kind of paid off in the end. It's like not only was my first motivation was okay, I'm just tired of being broke. I just want to start earning money. But then I guess at the same time, when I got through started working, that's where I realized, okay, this is what I want to do for the rest of my life. So that way, when I go to work every day, it doesn't feel like I'm going to work. It feels like I'm actually living as we speak. So, your turn.
I guess I share kind of like the same motivation, inspiration that everyone else does, but probably the main thing.
Were you broke too?
Yeah, I was pretty broke.
Yeah.
But I think I was mainly keeping myself in school and then finally graduating and looking for a job because I was doing it more for my mom. Because I wasn't on loans or anything like that. She was pretty much paying everything out of her pocket to keep my loans. So, and there's 4 of us in our family, so she's intending to pay for all of us. So I didn't want to end up being like a washout or something. So every time I thought about like skipping a class or something, I would think my mom like would hit me with a belt. And
You missed the classes I was with you.
that was just one class. So yeah, that was
Sorry, assholes, bro.
so that was more my thing.
For me personally, it's funny how you bring up motivation during college, because I was motivated probably during the latter years, because at the time I thought I really wanted to be like an undergraduate or become a grad student researcher to create knowledge. So I did it, like I was an undergraduate researcher, and I quickly found out that was not my thing, and so that actually demotivated me. Like I came to a point, I don't know if any of you guys are at this point, but for me personally, like I was at the point in my life where I didn't know what the hell I was going to do after college. I had no idea what I wanted. Like I was graduating soon, and I was like, crap, what the hell am I going to do? For me, I'm an environmental science degree. It's so broad, I don't know what to do with that, It's easy for engineering, you can do EIT, you can go here or there, but anyone outside of that field, it's pretty broad, And so when I started, I really didn't know what to do. So I guess what motivated me was the first thing I wanted to do, which kept me motivated, was to figure out what I wanted to do first, It took a lot of soul searching. It took a couple months of fuck, I think I really want to do this. And then the field gets broader and broader and broader as you apply more and more deep into the months, and which I will refer to back to the dark ages, those are the dark times. But once you truly figure out you know what, this is what I want, and this is my biggest thing for you guys to help you be motivated as of I don't know where you guys are at right now. Find out what exact position you want, I don't know whether it be a senior engineering position, whether it be environmental consulting or whatever. See what that position is. Look it up on Monster or whatever. It's pretty easy. See what requirements it needs for you to fulfill that. Write those notes down, whether it be a certificate, whether it be certain experience in certain things, and do those things while you're still here. Whether it be an internship during the summer or whether it be relevant classes here. Because the more you do now, the more it will help you later. For me, I'm doing everything later, for me personally, everything that I'm doing right now, even though, I'm an environmental consultant, at Environmental, I know for a fact I'm not going to stay there long. For me, that's just a stepping stone. That's just another stone to my end goal. So like that's my biggest advice for you guys.
Well, like you said, in college, for me, just to graduate on time, right? Because parents told me, we're going to pay for 4 years, but then with loans and stuff like that. So it's like my third year, before that, summer is like 16 units, 12 units, right? Just to stay on track. So I felt burnt out already. My third year, I was taking like OChem and physical chemistry and like a lot of, pretty much they were all upper divisions except for OChem. So for me, I was feeling burnt out very fast in that quarter. And so, I talked to a couple of the fusion guys, we're just having barbecue. It's like, dude, I don't know if I can do this because besides school, I got fusion because at the time I was EVP, I got to handle my business there. There's a lot of responsibilities, and I think that's the thing that kept me going. People tell me, just keep going at it. So it's really your circle of friends. People say, they influence you. Oh, they really do. If you hang out with good people, they'll influence you in the right direction. So, I had people tell me, just keep up with it, just keep up with it. And then with the responsibilities for fusion, it's just, okay, you have these responsibilities, you decided to take them, what are you going to do about it? So you got to man up for that too. So it's just finding that balance. It's a lot of stress on you, but the thing is, again, in the end, it'll help you learn how to balance everything out. It's not always that easy. That's not what we're trying to say that, oh yeah, you can do it easily. No, it takes time, it takes effort.
Stuff like that, and they're just out there to just meet people, and that's when I learned, like, later on in your career, you're gonna have to meet some other people, and maybe it'll help you on later in life, I don't know. So, that's how I got into, like, fusion and USO, what I got from fusion? Let's see. Friends, networking, and something to put on my resume. What do you say?
Definitely not where my company would not exist if fusion, if I was involved in fusion. Initial partners with my company were actually fusion board members before. So, I mean, some of them, one left, and another one is still there, sort of. But yeah, I mean, it's really the network, and it's the ability to do things other than school. I mean, with fusion, you get to do stuff like put on meetings, you put on events, you get to plan for a whole year's, like, basically curriculum, if you kind of think about it. Stuff that you can't learn in school. So, I mean, I felt like I learned more from doing clubs at UCI than I actually did from actual classes. And, like, I applied nothing from my classes, whether it's electrical engineering or when I switched over to environmental analysis. Like, I don't apply any of that stuff to my real life, but everything I did in fusion and Kava and Allianz, like, that got applied to what I'm doing right now. So, definitely not.
I would say, just like everybody else said, lifelong friends, and I was a part of Fusion Board 2006, 2007. We called it the sexy board. And one of the things I learned from being in that board is, I knew how to work with people, and that's where pretty much we formed the bond. Where if one person was not able to do a certain task, everybody else will pick it up. No drama, no questions asked, and that applies to the real world too. So.
I think fusion helped me learn how to talk to people better, because being in a lot of the board positions, I had to stand up in front of everybody to talk. Back in high school, I was extremely fat and awkward and weird. So learning from fusion, kind of one of the older members kind of forced me to be very active in fusion, kind of made me a little bit better at talking to people. And I never.
Which one?
It was one Karad Lester. If you guys meet him, he's a character.
Yeah, it's the same person that hooked you up with the girl that I just received.
That's inappropriate for this.
Details.
I never would have thought, again being fat and awkward in high school, I never would have thought I would have joined the dance team in college. So the fusion tech kind of all that.
Alright, so to build on what everyone else has said, fusion,
socialize, how to converse with people, how to network, how to collaborate with different organizations, how to put yourself out there, how to organize events, how to plan meetings. You're doing things from both the upper management perspective and also being a team player. You're hitting every single field that's probably applicable in some way, some shape or form in the real world, you know? Like, when people look at my resume, which is why I got hired, they were like, damn, you did all that shit? I was like, yes, I did all that shit. And yes, I can confidently say that verbatim, I can do whatever you ask me to do because I have the skill set that I bring, I'm flexible, and I can do it, and I'm a hard worker, and you know what? This is what brought me to this point in life, you know? Everything that you learn here is very applicable, only if you feel like it can be applied, and it can be, you know? You just have to look deep in yourself and see, like, you know what? This is what this club gave me. And so, like, every time I look back, see how far I've come, like, fusion is, like, the biggest part of it, you know? Like, I wouldn't be the character or the type of person I am now if it wasn't for this club. Which is why, like when you guys bring up, like, if you were to, like, bring up, like, if you would do another year at Urban, I would not do it. I would just do everything the same, because why not?
Next one.
So our next question is going to be from us, and it is, what do you believe that every student should do before they graduate?
Quarter club.
Quarter club.
Anyone else want to?
Wait, so what was the actual question again?
What do you think every student should do before they graduate?
Okay, for all the guys, like, if you like that one girl, ask her out. Wait.
This applies to us too.
Yeah.
Yes.
Post-college dating is a different game.
Your
Yes.
phone's like this now. Alright, you know, you got this.
For everybody. I don't know about this other guys, but all of us have been or dated somebody from UCI.
This is true.
It's true. I did. You did. Or I don't know about you.
3.
He did. Oh, he did. I'm sorry. He did. He did. You all.
I'll disagree. Significant others in college is kind of a waste of time. Not being mean or anything. I have nothing against my exes here. But they distract you from things that are important, like fusion. It could be school. It could be, you know, you having a nice time at a party. You know, you don't want that thing like hanging up on you. Yeah, you just, you know, it offers you the freedom that you need, because college is only, you know, undergrad is only 4 or 5 years, 6 maybe. But you know, you got to make sure you make the most of it. And a significant other usually limits that, you know, your time by half at least.
You don't need a girl.
Doesn't mean you can't.
But gotta set yourself up. That's the main point.
And it'll make you more broke. So.
Exactly.
Yeah, 50% of your paycheck is very spent on that.
Still have fun, you know. But, you know,
I'm trying to do an internship or research. That prepares you a lot for it.
I agree.
And
It helps a lot.
It gives you an idea of what.
If not, take project courses for engineers.
Yeah, even if you think you're just like this undergrad, like sophomore or something, actually some companies like it when you start earlier, because then they get to know you, and then, you know, it's like, okay, next year, oh, okay, hi, what's up again, you know, hey, Ralph, you know, nice to see you again, you know, are you applying? Oh, yeah, okay. So, you know, you can build that relationship too, but it's really company oriented, depends on where you go.
I got one. It's actually a quote from Mahatma Gandhi. Live as if you were to die tomorrow. Learn as if you'll live forever. There we go.
Yeah, my bad, Mr. Poet.
All intellectual and like serious stuff aside, just kind of be yourself. What I've been telling a lot of the guys that I know around here, pretty much my year, my boards and everything were way into going out, clubbing and drinking and macking on girls. I just wanted to stay home and like play Dota. But I had to go out some nights. So if it's cool to have a social life, but if you want to stay home and you're not into that whole scene, just don't do it.
You'll find people that share your interests.
Yeah, you'll find friends. There's enough people at this university that you'll make friends with somebody.
And one more thing, always have confidence in yourself. 5 years ago or 6 years ago, we were in the same position as you guys. Now you guys look up to us, and eventually somebody else will look up to you guys. Yes, they do.
Really?
I mean, look at it, man. We got like Ray-Ban glasses.
Hey.
Okay, my only advice to you guys is, number one, don't be afraid to make mistakes. Because honestly, when you're in college, that is the best time to make mistakes. Because that is the only time where it's forgivable. Because you're young, you're stupid, but post-college, you better have your shit together. Like, real talk. You gotta perform. They expect you to already have made those mistakes. But even with that said, number two, don't be afraid to ask questions, you know? Don't be afraid, because there is no such thing as a stupid ass question. As long as you ask, it is relevant. Because it shows two things about your character. Number one, you're interested, and number two, you care. You know, you're willing to know what you want to know more. You know, that is more revealing about your character, which is why I feel like it's valuable to at least know those two things. And besides marbles, to be yourself. You know, like don't let anything outside of the real world post college shape you to be whoever, or like force you to a certain direction. Know who you are truly. So you are able to attain your goals, because it's that much more satisfying to know that, like, hey, I did this shit on my own and I did it. You know, fuck it.
So yeah, 2 points. One, enjoy yourself while you're here, because to be honest, like when we all get together, our stories are college stories. You know, that's what we're talking about.
We look back to the
reminiscing, all the good times. Because when you're all separate, you all do your own thing. You don't get those kind of stories really. And number two is stay current and stay relevant. Even once you graduate, you think you're like, sweet, I got my degree. You know, I'm a full-fledged engineer. I'm a full-fledged English major, whatever. You know, I'm done. No, we always go through that constant learning, which builds on what Rel said. So if you like what you do, stay current, stay relevant, do the things. You know, like if you're an engineer, SAMPy's coming up. That's next week. You know, you can get free registration just for the expo. You know, just to remember, stay out there, stay active. You know, the opportunities are there.
To build off of what Aurelio said, always be willing to learn. You know, like just because you finished and you got your degree at UCI, have the passion, have the drive to keep on learning, to keep on like to be humble. You know, like always be striving to learn more. I mean, there's this quote that I live by. It's by Socrates, which is pretty much, I know nothing. And Socrates is like the most like intelligent guy ever during his time. So just stay humble and always keep on learning, because whatever you learn now, there's still so much more to learn. And if you're lucky, your company's paying for it.
Oh yeah.
That is true too.
That kind of ties into the quote from Muhammad Ali that I mentioned.
No offense. No offense.
My bad, Nick.
Build off of what Royce said.
Okay.
Alright, I guess we're done then. Can we give a big round of
Come back.